So we did this with LLM because this is a classifier problem. And LLM are really great at looking at a big data set and reclassifying those vulnerabilities into something that has a lot of context. This is where you use AI in the proper way. And this is the work of the researcher that's going to enable you to create, basically, regardless if you have vulnerability without this information, this creates this information. And we can use on CTI. Now, one interesting thing was bug bounty, where we had divergence. And bug bounty has maybe a biased approach where the common vulnerability normally are not being published as part of the bug bounty, but the really hard one to find are published as this bug bounty. But that's the only data set and the only place where we saw divergence, where we didn't see a pattern appearing as the other pattern that we've seen in the other attack, like remote code execution on CISA or verified exploit, or all of the GitHub with an exploit available and verified exploit. Again, remote code execution appearing over and over. So in conclusion, I hope you start creating a more critical thinking about LLM. We can discuss more about throwing all of the vulnerability and what the result of those vulnerability in an LLM is and how those are gonna point you to the very wrong direction. So what I want you go out of this talk with, in a way, is use LLM and AI in the proper way. And for every company that come at you and say, we have the answer is AI, just call it BS. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Francesco. Right. Thanks for an awesome talk. Right. I think we have time for one question before we go into pizza. Anyone has questions? No? Okay.
Isn't the problem with Microsoft that it has a heritage of DDoS, which apparently stands for down and dirty operating system?
Well, Microsoft has an enormous attack surface to maintain and a lot of legacy software to maintain. And no matter what you're trying to decommission, airports still use Windows 95. And they pay a lot of money for those versions to be maintained. And regardless if Microsoft doesn't maintain anymore, another software house will try to maintain it and patch it and do something about it, because it's really hard to unhinge this software from specific system, unfortunately. Yeah.
One second, I'll bring your microphone.
But I mean, don't you think that, for example, over time, Microsoft, even though they're trying to maintain like as much as possible, they become, in some ways, in some areas of cybersecurity, they've started to become a little bit complacent sometimes. Don't you think so?
No, I think they got way better. They got so much critique, they got so much attack surface that they got a lot better, but they have a lot of surface to target. So they're getting better at publishing vulnerability. They publish 70, I think, fixes every week or so. Patch Thursday is a thing. And we got way better at patching things. Right now, the attacks that we're seeing, Log4j, Spring4Shell, TJ Action, all of these are coming not from patching, not from Microsoft, but from other attack surface, because luckily we got better at fixing and patching things or automating that element. The problem that we're facing right now is container being built from somewhere else, because that's the next frontier of the hard things to solve and do. It is first party. As soon as you adopt it in your code, I think it's first party. I think it's your problem. It's third party library, but as soon as you download it, I still consider it as part of my code. Yes.
Thanks very much, Francesco.